Alright, I think I'm recording. I sure hope so. It's hard to see when you're doing your thing. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to try to make it real short, but hard hitting at the same time. About this topic is, let's focus in, get a few things out of the way. And right now it's been more recently about the black community, the black people, the way black people act, the way, how black people are, the black people's culture in 2017. But not the general black people, but just a generalization of it coming from other parties other than the blacks, the outside looking in. It coming from also from the, ones in, like myself, looking in within and looking out at the same time. So let's just knock out a few stereotypes, knock down a few, just collective thoughts that keeps propelling what this energy that fuels everything. So, you're gonna have your people that just don't want to understand. Is what you really come across when you're talking about a lot of these westerns here in America that deals and interact with it, and then a lot of the humans overall that deal and interact with the blacks here in America. And I'm sure all over the same way. Oh yeah, definitely, my bad. For sure. Oh, most definitely, for sure. I mean, everywhere. Everybody knows the same stories, and everybody, even in their races, if you're not even of the ethnicity, then you still have that shade complexion going on within your families. So it's rooted in all races, and so and it's, of course, it's set to be like a, you got your black and white, top and bottom, yin and yang. There's the creation, the black and the white, and who's better and civilized, and who's peaceful, and who's just creative, and who's this and all your stereotypes. I'm gonna have to make a couple parts to this here video, and this one's probably gonna be a little short because I know my memory bank on this here phone is not that great. I'm not your best editor. I haven't even started editing anything. So sorry if you don't have music in the background, keep you entertained. Sorry if you don't have nice images come across the screen, keep you stimulated. This is for the deep thinkers, the sophisticated ones. So the other ones, I'm sure y'all formulate your own opinion and keep everything going on like you do, like you are. And I get another video of truly who those are and what they really means, coming from your past life, who you were for in your past life. Just in the essence, I can tell just by running into people, I can tell who they were. If they were in-house or out-house. If they were just, the middle line, or they were just on one or the other side of the line, left or the right, top or the bottom. Anyhow, let's go into these few of these stereotypes where you got, well, not even stereotypes. Let's start with a few of them, and I'm not even gonna, I have a few on my mind right now, and I'm just gonna keep on flowing here. And bringing up topics. I'm gonna have to edit and start adding on pieces to this here because it's gonna be a lot of things. But when it started in the early late 50s, early 60s, maybe one say 63s. I'm not sure technically on the supposedly beginnings of all these different things that they want to actually, that the Westerns and Europeans want us to stay the course, keep the communication on this factuals and this factuals and this factuals and this factuals. But at the end of the day, one of the main factuals is in the Constitution. They created and said that the black man and woman was 1/4 of a human, 1/4 of a man. So whenever that started, you can pull it up. I don't give a damn on all that other than the information that embeds into the community. Oh, I got something good for you now about these black people. Well, now I need to start on another subject. And that's about passing down heritage, passing down game, passing down information, which is so lacking in our community. And I'm so upset that it's not even nowhere near. And I know when it happened. I know when we start buying into the system and start fading away. But we wasn't in power, us as adults now. As, we were kids at that time, and our parents dropped the ball and continued to carry that baton. And the kids was doing it, and they shortened our whole, revolution from understanding what was going on. So now it's picking back up, and we're the parents, we're the adults, and we're waking back up. And it's like, oh yeah, we did shit. We wasn't even in it, but I remember it. We was about to get it started, but they cut us short. And the parents wasn't even out. They was already sold out. They were already bought in. They had already been neutered. So, and capped off. So, you got half of 1/4 of a man. You have a black man entitlement. We're identified as black people. Black America. Black America, Black America. White America, the ups and downs, all that stuff is just to keep us in the top and the bottom, and there's a bottom and you're at the top, and everybody want to be at this top, and it's a psychology fix, which obviously we're not black people. So what it does is it keeps you trapped into a racist box of just that. And so it was no intent other than to call us something that was associated with, a higher and a lowerarchy, and which we are of a bronze being in these bodies, and of course comes in all different shades of that. So I'm gonna keep on talking to this thing cuts off. And I'm gonna delete a few more videos and maybe continue. But so that is the real concept of now. That is the one thing that keeps us in prison is this title of the black and black and white, which is obviously not true. And then you have your I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back into focus here, and I gotta get into true focus as I'm doing this video. It's meaninglessly to me, because if it's not focused on what's important, which is keeping me on the prize, then it's a meaningless video. And so you have all these different scenarios, and just really it's about a charade to keep us within a charade. And that's the trueness of it. So I try to make sure I fall out of the matrix and stay out of the matrix. And you have to, and that's a whole nother subject about how to come out of the matrix. But the actual majority of people want to stay in this matrix, so therefore they never want to focus on anything of a higher and over value or see something more. Now, you want to understand that they are correct, the government, when they identified us as a black race, as a black people. They are correct, the government, when they say that we are 1/4 of a human, of 1/4 of a man. They are correct. I'm sure they are correct. I'm sure they were accurate on what they spoke. I'm sure they looked into it, investigated. I'm not being sarcastic about that. They are correct. I will believe them. Now, This world, in my vision, reality, is that it's upside down. And everything that is supposed to be good is actually bad. And vice versa. So if that's the case, you also have to apply it to what I just spoke about. Now you have to find a riddle into what they were really saying when they said that, the opposite of that. The riddle, as you evolve and if you continue to always reflect back and paint the picture, the riddle would be within those two examples would be black man, identification of a black person on the western land, one-fourth of a man, of a human. One-fourth of a human. Now, those two examples are correct if you're looking at it in the right perspective, in the right light, and understand it, that it's flipped, and what is the riddle. If you understand who you are. No riddle once you understand who you are. It was just uninformed information, and that was the third point I brought into about my peoples not giving us game. My peoples is not passing down any information. None of our elders, none of them, parents, none of them, all been bought in. But I'm incorrect when I say parents. I'm incorrect when I say parents. They're not our parents. They're our children. If you understand how the lineage goes and how and what our ancestors early on, no timing, but early on would practice. They will raise the kings, the kids as kings and goddesses because they were, and the elders of the age would get older, and the goddesses would obviously know more and be more profound, and that's what you would manifest into. And the reason why you manifest them into, you manifest your fathers. So you manifest your father. I manifest my father. I ain't manifesting my father because I don't need a father. I figured I don't need a father right now because I figured out who I am. In essence, I am. I am all. I am. I am. That's it. I am it. Now, that doesn't say anything about me manifesting what I will consider a better image. Until I get to that point of understanding that, then that's what it would be. But they are our kids. What we call on this earth our parents is actually our kids. And if you understand anything about children, they end up being more smarter than the elders. So we just call them still kids, and we try to, and our parents it's holding us down and not letting us evolve into the guys that we are because they called up on us, and we are the manifestation of what they called up on. But then they taint us with the world as soon as we get into this world because they don't know no better instead of raising us up as the guys that we are and their parents. Now back to the subject of hand. Now they could have stayed warful and keeping their DNA activated through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, or 70s and the 80s, so that we could have continued that and fed on from that. And when our fire died, they was helping out with the rap ain't good. Y'all need to stop doing that. And rap, you ain't gonna learn enough from this and this and that. When we was out there expressing ourselves and learning and getting past the game, regardless of how foolish it looked. Now I'm flipping the women and leading the show. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, they are our parents, and yeah, that's it. That is my daughter. Yes, what y'all call my mother is my daughter, and she's acting like a daughter. And when when people get their shit together, you'll see a little bit better. And she's acting like a daughter. And the best way to handle that at these points is telepathic. We all know where she know everything about me without, and I know everything, and she learned a whole lot without me even having to see her at all. That's the lesson. I don't play with it. I'm not even around it. Now, back to the two deals at hand. Yes, we are 1/4 of a man. Yes, we are black. Identified as black. I hope this thing's still recording.